Hey, what's up guys? Nick O'Leary here, and this week we are looking at top 10 things you need to know about the Mercedes-Benz GLS. Now, it did actually launch last year, but obviously with the events that happened this year, it was a little bit delayed. But I'm pleased to say there is one in Mercedes-Benz pool just over there. So let's roll that intro and we'll get straight to it. Now, first up guys, we'll start with the price. Now, a Mercedes-Benz GLS does start at £75,610 in the UK. Yes, it is quite a lot. However, there is a price to pay for the added luxury you find on a GLS because it combines lots of other things that you'd usually find in other cars. So, as we all know, Mercedes-Benz has a model range of about 35 models. It's a combination of an SUV and an S-Class. Now, for those of you that don't know, an S-Class is Mercedes-Benz's flagship luxury car, and combining that with complete off-the-road capabilities, there's a lot of automation and luxury in the GLS. Now, speaking of automation in Mercedes-Benz GLS, it is a 7-seater. Meaning that you have a driver and a passenger seat, of course, and then after that you have a middle row, which is also referred to as the second seat row, and then there's a third seat row just here in the back. And it's a GLS. You don't need to pull the seats up. There are dedicated switches for that, and they just come up all by themselves. Just like that. And getting in, and that's just as easy as well. Quite simply, it's a one-touch button, and the whole seat will come completely out of the floor and even move the driver's seat forward to maximise the available space to get in. And this is, of course, this seat. You can do the same for the other side as well. So sitting in the third seat row in the very back of the GLS, it's actually quite spacious. Obviously, it's mainly designed for small children, but I mean, I'm 6'2", and I've got enough legroom here if you angle the seats a certain way. But we've got cup holders in the back, and there's even 4 USB-C ports in the third seat row alone. So, you know, people can charge their phone and plug stuff in. So, yeah. Now, this trick is really, really cool. Say you've got all the seats up at the moment. So you've got the second row and the third row up. There is one switch to fold all of them down at once. Let me show you. Now, for the purposes of towing capabilities, the Mercedes-Benz GLS is no slouch there. There is a dedicated button on the back, and this is standard. You simply pull that button, and in less than 20 seconds, you have a tow bar ready to go. Now, for those of you who have tried to tow something before and use a trailer or a caravan or something, you may have found it actually quite difficult because obviously when you do reverse and you steer, the trailer or the caravan goes the opposite way. So Mercedes-Benz have this thing called trailer maneuvering assist, which enables the car to kind of use park assist, but you basically use the touchscreen to move the trailer. You can see Felix here from the AMG YouTube channel doing a quick demonstration. I'll do a quick link up above to that video if you wanted to watch it. It's quite interesting, but they did a time on how quick you can do trailer maneuvering assist versus someone who's done reverse parking with a trailer before. And I think he won, if I remember. So hats off to Mercedes for implementing that technology with park assist into reversing with a trailer. Now, the new GLS actually comes with Mercedes-Benz's very famous Airmatic suspension system. And basically what that means that on each wheel, instead of an actual suspension coil, there's a very small air chamber, and the car essentially rides on air. And very cleverly, that chamber can either compress or uncompress to make the ride firmer or softer, depending if you're in sport or comfort modes. Now, what's really clever as well, because it's air, you can actually increase the ride height or lower the ride height. Currently, right now, the GLS is as low as it can go, so you may notice it's a bit lower. But here you can see the GLS rising, and as you can see, it does change by quite a bit. It is an SUV after all, so in case you needed to go off-road or anything, you can get that extra ground clearance just to avoid any unwanted obstacles or any stones, rocks, gravel, that kind of thing. Now, going back to a level of automation before, it is quite a tall car, so if you have like a heavy box or something, you need to lift it into the car, you don't have to lift it up as high because there is a little switch here. Flick this and the whole of the back of the car will now lower down, so you don't have to lift it up as high. It's quite clever. Now, this system isn't unique to the GLS, it's actually found in S-classes and selected other models too. But basically it's called Magic Vision Control. And if you look really closely to that wiper blade there, it's actually got some holes along the whole wiper blade. So there's no spray down here on the engine bay, it comes out the wiper blade. Now, with a normal windscreen washer system, the spray comes directly out of the bonnet area. And yes, this is okay, however, when you spray the windscreen, there is a slight delay of about half a second of where you can't see anything. What Magic Vision Control does is eliminate this completely, so you have maximum visibility at all times. Next up is a thing called HUD, and what HUD is short for is heads-up display. I can only describe this as a kind of jet fighter pilot style projection onto the windscreen. As you can see here, it's pretty clever, very, very high tech. You can customize all the elements on here from the left to the middle to the right hand side. You can show things such as the current speed you're doing, the speed limit for the road, and even things like sat-nav route guidance and things like that. So it's a very, very neat and sleek system. Very, very rare on Mercedes-Benz models, but of course the GLS has it. Now, of course, when you have a luxury car like a Mercedes-Benz GLS, there's a few things standard to make driving just that little bit easier, and it's called Energising Comfort and Energising Coach. And what this is basically just a few programs to help change your mood while driving. So it will use all features of the car to change things such as temperature, the lights, the seat. It even has seat kinetics where it can move the seat a certain way and try and keep your back and muscles mobile so they don't ache from being in one position for such a long journey. There's even an option on here for a thing called training, so you can even do muscle stimulation, muscle relaxation, where the Mercedes-Benz assistant will actually talk to you and ask you to do certain exercises while driving. Now, you get all that stuff as standard, but if you wanted to opt for one of the higher packages, you can actually have a massage while driving. And though someone doesn't sit in the back, there's actually a program for that where it'll actually inflate air pockets in the seat to kind of push and move up and down your back. And it'll even use that with the heated seat to give you a warm or hot massage. Quite clever. Now, I will say the panoramic sunroof in a Mercedes-Benz GLS is the biggest panoramic sunroof in the Mercedes-Benz range. And if I'm not mistaken, it's actually one of the biggest in most production cars. As you can see here, it is absolutely massive. It goes all the way back to the second seat row. And the only thing separating it is just a very small bar in the middle. And it's still going. Now, of course, you can open up the sunroof, but it is just limited to the very front one, which is just located in front of the driver and passenger. Now, my final thing about the Mercedes-Benz GLS is that there is an option for a thing called MBUX rear entertainment system. Now, unfortunately, this particular car doesn't have it, but from reading the specs, it does look quite impressive, and I'm rather intrigued about the MBUX tablet, which is just located in the back. But from the looks of it, the MBUX rear entertainment system features two full HD 11.6-inch touchscreens, very similar to the screens in the front, and you can even connect up headphones via Bluetooth. There's USB-C connections along with micro HDMI and headphone jack. And while you have this connected up, you have direct access to the MBUX multimedia system, from watching TV, radio, media and even internet access as well. You can even look at the trip information from what the driver sees on the sat-nav, and there's also a thing called augmented video, which I'm guessing is to do with the augmented sat-nav reality which some MBUX systems have. So all in all, looks like an amazing package for anyone who sits in the second seat row for the GLS. And there we go guys, that concludes today's video on the top 10 things you need to know about the Mercedes-Benz GLS. Now the technology in this car is amazing. Can it get any better in any of the other models? I would say yes, because soon Mercedes-Benz are going to announce the specification and pricing on the new S-Class. And I believe it's due to come out next year. So soon we'll be able to go through a video on the new S-Class with that new MBUX infotainment system. It looks amazing, so I can't wait for it to arrive. Until then though, if you have any questions, do leave them down in the comments section. And of course, if you liked today's video, don't forget that like button. And of course, subscribe if you want to see any more future videos just like this one. Until next time guys, we'll see you all then.